Alright, how's it going, guys? This is CT with my preview of the Mississippi State at LSU game this Saturday, I believe at 7 o'clock. Um, this will be the first real test for Mississippi State, and this is my first time doing a video on both these teams since I did my team previews over the summer. Let me go ahead and just give a quick recap on really what I've thought about these teams so far. First of all, Mississippi State, they've been pretty impressive, really. They really laid the hammer on Southern Miss in the first week. Then they played UAB, and their defense really kind of struggled in that game. I'm not really sure exactly what the problem was, but the defense did not look that great in that game. But the offenses looked very good. And then South Alabama last week they got off to a kind of slow start, but they really got rolling and really looked good again. Really looked impressive against what's not a bad South Alabama team. And it's always dangerous when you're going into a team like South Alabama. There's a smaller conference team where you're going into their stadium. That's the biggest game in South Alabama history. I know that they're a brand new team, so that's not saying much, but it's that way with like anyone. I remember Baylor went to Louisiana Monroe last year, and Baylor went to where'd they go? They went somewhere this past Friday night. Was it hell, I can't remember. I'm not going to waste any time with it. Uh, that's always a difficult thing, and it's always weird to watch those type of games as well. And LSU, the first half they looked very bad against Wisconsin. Second half they looked very good. Heck of a comeback for a Les Miles squad. And then the second week they played, was it Sam Houston State, and rolled them as expected. And Leonard Fournette did that little Heisman pose. What was that all about? That was ridiculous. I could not believe he did that. Les Miles gave him my earful as expected. Then the third week, last Saturday, they played Louisiana Monroe and really wiped the floor with them as well. Also as expected in the in the purple unis. So that brings us to this Saturday and the SEC opener for both of these teams, and it's a divisional game, and this is going to be a really good game. If you've watched my Mississippi State season or team preview, I was really high on them, and I still am. Really like Dak Prescott. I think he's a great player and probably the best quarterback that Mississippi State's had in my lifetime. I'm 22 years old, so I really like him a lot. Dual threat. Maybe a little if Mississippi State can somehow get hot and really contend in the SEC, Dak Prescott is a dark horse Heisman candidate. I really don't think he's going to win it, and they have a lot of work to do before they can get over that hump, which I'll talk about in a second. But if they did, watch out for Dak Prescott. Really good player. Jamian Lewis has looked good, who I think is their best wideout. The defense has looked good except for the UAB game. Um, and yeah, I've really liked what I've seen so far, but this is where we really find out about Mississippi State. Um, but I think they're going to show up in this game and play LSU very tough in Death Valley. If this game was not in Death Valley, if this game was at Mississippi State, put it that way, I would definitely pick Mississippi State to win this game. But LSU has really looked good since that second, as soon as that kickoff at the beginning of the third quarter in that Wisconsin game, they've really looked good. Really looked like a tough team. Anthony Jennings has played well enough in that Wisconsin game. You can't really go by what you've seen from him since that game, because anybody can look good against Sam Houston State and Louisiana Monroe. But I think he's gonna be all right. I really do. I was very I was very unsure about him going into the year. I was really thought Brandon Harris may be the guy, but Anthony Jennings, I think he's the guy now. I think you know he can throw better than I thought he can, and they have more playmakers. Some young talent on the outside, and of course they have a loaded backfield like always, and that's really their identity is a physical team in the run game. And I think Mississippi State has the guys up front to uh, you know contend with that. I don't think LSU is just going to run them over um, because they Mississippi State's defense I think is a lot better than anyone thinks it is. People haven't really been talking about Mississippi State to this point because they haven't really played a difficult game yet. But don't be surprised if people are talking about Mississippi State after this game. And they very well could go into Death Valley and win this game. I would not be surprised the least bit, really. But I do like LSU to win this game. I will go LSU 30, Mississippi State 27. Really close game. Um, I think this is like really hard to predict this type of stuff, but I think Mississippi State's going to have the ball at the end of the game, and LSU will get a pick to seal it. You know, my I wanted to pick Mississippi State in this game. I really did. I haven't picked an upset yet. Luckily, there hasn't really been an upset besides that A&M South Carolina game that I didn't do a preview for or any preview that week. But I'm really starting to buckle down from this point on. I will be watching every single game that I recap from this point on, every single play. I'll be watching a game, all the games I can on Saturday. The ones I can't watch, I will be recording and watching on Sunday or Monday, and then doing a recap shortly after that. So that's it. I got LSU 30, Mississippi State 27, which will be a really good SEC West game and a good test for both of these teams, regardless who wins. And two very good teams. And we'll see what happens. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.